So we have a very special opportunity here. We are with Susan McKinley Ross, the winner of the 2011 Spiel des Jahres for Qwirkle. You can see from the banners behind us, Qwirkle is here in full force.
Full force.
Here in Essen, we have an entire, what amounts to a booth space that's filled with nothing but people playing your game. What I'd love to know is just to have you talk about maybe the whirlwind ride that must have accompanied, the nomination up to the winning of the award, and then here you are at Essen again, back in Germany. Kind of give us maybe a little inside look on what the life of the designer, from a designer's eye point of view, what's been going on through this whole process.
When we found out about the nomination, it was so thrilling, it was so exciting, and we had about 2 days to decide if we were going to come to Berlin for the ceremony, and it was like, yes, of course we're going to go to Berlin, but we just didn't know. You didn't have planned in your summer, go to Berlin.
Right.
So it was about a month of crazy getting ready and doing all that and just thinking about it all the time, and for a long time I thought, I don't want to know who's going to win, I just want to live in the space of waiting to find out who's going to win, because I might lose, I might not get it.
Right.
But I finally said, okay, I'm going to go. We're going to find out, because it's going to happen whether or not I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
And so we showed up here, and we had a couple days to adjust to the time. And then the Spiel des Jahres jury did a really nice dinner the night beforehand.
Oh, nice.
With all the authors and all the publishers, and they took us on a boat tour of Berlin. And it was just a very relaxing way to spend the evening before the ceremony.
Calm your nerves.
Calm your nerves. They kept us out till midnight so we could, be tired and get a little bit of sleep, because it was hard to sleep that night.
I can imagine.
And then the ceremony was the next morning early at a hotel in Berlin. And they had a very small, a small booth for each game.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in and I saw the big Qwirkle banner, and the lady had Qwirkle jewelry like this.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
I coveted it, had to make my own. And so that was so exciting to see that. And then just to be there and realize that there are board game awards and they get this massive coverage as a gamer, I was so excited that was happening. And then part of me was going, wait, I'm here for Qwirkle.
It's not just as a passive participant.
I'm not just watching it,
yeah.
I'm actually here. And then I got really nervous, even though I didn't want to. And they did a presentation of each game where they did a short video of the game and gave you a certificate for being nominated. And then they did the announcements. And when they pulled it off and the Qwirkle box was hidden there, I couldn't believe. I was just amazed. I was absolutely amazed. I looked back at the box like, is that really Qwirkle there on the Spiel des Jahres? They have a big cardboard pawn, and they put the game in the middle of it. It was just amazing. It was just amazing.
Now, post winning the award, we know sort of from an economic standpoint, they tend to generate more sales because of the award. But what sort of impact has it had on your life in terms of maybe opportunities or other things, or has there been? I think that'd be an interesting thing for people to know about.
Yeah, I think I had an unusual experience because when we got back, my stepfather had hip replacement surgery. So I just came back to, I need to be here for my family and do whatever
Practical
I can to help
realities.
my parents. Yeah. So so that kind of took up my time, and then it was almost time to come to Essen again.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some more design opportunities, obviously, because of this, and I've heard some of the sales figures that are planned, and it's very exciting to hear those numbers. And I think that this gives me the opportunity to approach most any company. I think that they would be willing to see what I have. It doesn't mean they're going to like it, but they'd at least be willing to look at something that I have.
Opens those doors.
I hope so,
at
yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Well, maybe explain a little bit about what you're doing here at Essen specifically, too, as well.
Well, actually, my husband Chris and I have always wanted, or not always, for about 5 years we've wanted to come to Essen. When we really started hearing more and more about it in America, and it's just seemed like, Essen, we want to go there. It's
like
the
Mecca,
gamer's paradise.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And we didn't do it. It just wasn't something that was fitting into our schedule. But right after the award, Spiel, the German publisher, said, "Oh, we're going to have a Qwirkle booth at Essen," and we're like, this is the year to go. This is the year to
it's
go.
It's all adding up, right?
So we're here this year, and it's a giant Qwirkle booth. There's 18 tables in there. It's been packed the whole time. There's people playing on the floor, and I've gotten to sit in the middle of it. and look around and see all these people playing my game, and I just want to get up and jump up and down and go, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, that's what I've wanted to do. I finally did it. It's just been so exciting to look around and see all those people playing your game.
That must be the most gratifying experience as a designer.
Is.
I would imagine, from my perspective, I could see where that would be.
It absolutely is, and to look around and see that all these people are engrossed in it. You know, they're playing and they're very serious about it, and they get it so quickly. There's 6 people here teaching it, and they have it down. They can teach it in a minute. I know you're really good at teaching Qwirkle. You can probably do the same. I'm not as good.
Oh, come on.
I don't have as much. I honestly don't have as much practice. So they can teach it in a minute, and then the people who are playing say, that's it, we can start playing, you know, because they're used to game instructions taking longer.
Right.
And so then they start playing, and then they get engrossed, and I've just loved sitting there watching it happen. It's been a real treat.
Now, I would be remiss in my duties here if I didn't ask, because I know that you're a prolific game designer, and we've seen some other of your game designs, what you might have in the hopper coming down the line here. You know, I have to ask those probing questions here. So.
Probing questions. I have things I'm working on, and I have games I'm excited about, designs that are close to being done.
Okay.
But I don't pitch early. I wait till I'm really satisfied with something.
Okay.
Partially because I don't take rejection well. So I try and get it, you know, like I think they'll say yes before I bring it to anybody, because then I get very sad when they say no. And
I understand.
it's hard.
It's hard. Being an artist, that's hard. Yeah.
It is. So I don't have anything right now that's slated for publication. I have some things that are being looked at and some things I'm working on, but there isn't anything bright and fresh and shiny new that's coming out.
Now, people probably know you mostly for more abstract kind of games. Do you, as a designer, think in terms of other types of mechanics and outside the sort of abstract realm, or where's your heart lie in terms of game design? Do you always find yourself gravitating towards that side of the game design world, or do you kind of like dipping your toes in the different pools out there?
It's interesting. I tend to play themed games. I think part of that is that my husband Chris is really good at finding games, and I trust his judgment, and he brings us good games to play, and I'm not as good at searching them out. But when game ideas pop in my head, they tend to be abstract, pattern matching, color, shape sort of things, and they just that's how they come to me. And I have a couple children's ones that I think that Board Game Geek or gamers would describe them as pasted on themes on abstract games, which is fine, because that's kind of what they are. And I have a couple like that are themed, but just in terms of where my brain goes.
It tends to just go that way naturally, and why fight it, right?
Yeah, it's worked for me, which is good.
I'd say so, just a little bit. Just a little.
Although it's hard, Mindware is an excellent example. Abstract publishers are a little harder to find.
Yes, and just in general, there aren't as, on the grand scale of board games, abstracts probably don't, I think they don't get their day in the sun. They're compelling games, but when you look at all the different board game publishers out there aren't as many interested in publishing that style of game either.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would say. But
yeah. Well, I can't really complain about it because I don't play that as much myself, and I think a lot of abstracts for me are actually fairly difficult. There are abstracts where I'm like, oh, I have to plan so far ahead, and I'm not as good at that. So it's harder to find the ones where you don't have to plan quite so far ahead.
Right.
So, because one of the things I love about the themed games and a lot of German games is it's small decision making that build up to a big thing, but each turn you're not overwhelmed.
Yes.
With choices.
And no one decision is going to upset your whole process of play.
Exactly.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We certainly have loved Qwirkle for a long time, and love the fact that it's finally gotten more than its day in the sun here. And it's great to be able to congratulate you in person for winning the Spiel des Jahres, and we can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve next.
Thank you. And I wanted to say that before the announcement, you guys did a fantastic podcast where you were covering the Spiel des Spiel?
Yep.
Yeah, and you did all the games and you covered them all, and you did the nicest, most touching review of Qwirkle.
Thanks.
And both of you said the nicest things about Qwirkle, and you were so much more articulate than I can be. And seriously, if Qwirkle hadn't won, I was just going to go listen to that again. I was like, I'm going to go listen to that.
It was all
you
true.
were my backup plan.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Glad. Well, our pleasure, really. Thanks so much, and best of luck with the rest of your time here at Essen.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys were able to make it. I'm so glad that worked out with Kickstarter.
Us too.
Yeah. Thank you.